This is such a big thing, right?
Thank you.
Oh, come on, Jim. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Fantastic. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for-
I wanted to be kind of business-like.
Can I see the other gift?
Hello and welcome to Qatar's first sports podcast, In the Game. I'm your host, Steve Mackey, and we can't wait to introduce you to everything that is sports here in Qatar and afar. We're going to be bringing you personalities, company owners, institutions, individuals that are making a real difference. So, with us, enjoy the journey.
It's fun, man. Sports is fun.
Everyone, thank you for listening. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favorite podcast app. Hello, my name's Steve Mackey. I'm the host of In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. Today, we have GymCraft coming on the show with Hasham and with Tilmman. They are incredible in what they're building. They're going to be merging gaming and fitness together where we can have the best of both worlds. It's going to keep people engaged and you can play against people from all over the world. It's an incredible story and one you should be listening to. Hello and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. Today is Friday and it's a great day for us. We have two special guests on the show. They're from Qatar Sports Tech, one of the cohorts. And I'm going to jump straight in and I'm going to get you to introduce yourself. Tilmman, if we start with you first, please tell us about yourself and tell us about your app briefly, and then we'll introduce Hasham.
Great. Thanks, Steve, for the opportunity to get acquainted with a lot of people listening outside. My name is Tilmman Holm. I'm German, and I'm the CEO of GymCraft. GymCraft is a company which is actually opening a new dimension for the fitness people by merging gaming and fitness. That's our vision. Yeah, because we have detected that the biggest problem in the world of doing fitness is actually the motivation, and we believe that if fitness makes fun, that we can motivate a lot of people to do sport.
I think it's a brilliant concept because it's just one of those things that with me personally, I didn't get into fitness going to the gym because it was always is me against myself. When if you gave me a ball to chase or you gave me something that was going to occupy me, then I would jump at it. I would want to go and do those things. You're going to have a development thing where you can interact with yourself and others in gaming.
Yeah. We have a magic trick, Steve. When people do our extra games on the fitness devices, they forget about the time and they forget really about doing sport. So the principle, what we use is we use existing fitness devices actually to control a game. Yeah, so you see your avatar moving around in the game, but you have to put the physical input by yourself on the device. That's the concept, and it's working great.
Perfect. And Hasham, let me come to you for 2 seconds. Introduce yourself, Hasham, and let people know with this wonderful app that you're developing. Not app, the computer and the games and everything. Tell us what it's like from a business development side of things. How do you go about it?
Okay. Hi. So my name is Hasham. I'm also one of the co-founders of GymCraft, and I have an investment banking private equity background, and within GymCraft, I run business development and the global sales process. Hi, Steve, and hi everyone. So answering your question here, I have a pretty direct, relentless approach. Reaching out to the big fitness equipment manufacturers such as Precor or Dico or Life Fitness. Because they are aware of that generally just cardio fitness is boring, and they want to, like to offer their customers something with more entertainment, and something which is more social and socializing, what you just mentioned. So when I speak to these companies on a very a senior level, they're actually very excited to hear about it, and they're very keen to progress because they know that this market has huge potential.
Massive potential, and we'll get onto the app. And I'm sorry for calling it the app, but it's a game. It's not just an app. It's something a lot bigger, which we will explain that as we go along. But just it's a platform. Thank you very much.
It's a platform for extra games. The people who like games, they know Steam. where they normally buy their games. So Superplay is the same thing. It's a publishing platform for so-called extra games. Extra games are a new genre of games which are controlled by fitness devices. And that's what we do. We are the first platform in the world to give people access to these extra games.
Tilmman, how did you start all of this off? How did it all begin for you?
I'm an entrepreneurial soul. You know, I made my first business. I started my first business when I was 15, actually. Yeah, I was selling technical stuff, cameras, and so on. Then I founded my first first company when I was 18. I studied law. It became a very, very big company actually in Germany with more than 20 million turnover, and we had 18 branches. I sold it, and then I went into the software business, and I developed actually something like Siri. But this was about 10 years ago. And actually, this was not very good because I lost all my money, or a lot of money, more than 10 million. And yeah, this is also, it belongs to an entrepreneur, yeah, that you have to fall down. Yeah, it's life. But afterwards, I invested the money into GymCraft. And I came up with this idea together with Hasham and Fabio. We wrote this concept together because we were realizing that there was a real gap. Yeah, on the one hand, you had these huge companies like Technogym and Precor. You must know there's only 5 companies dominating 90% of the global market. And we saw the machines, and we saw that they had a lack of intelligence. So we said, if you would put a layer of intelligence above these machines, yeah, in a cloud-based system, we could really give them a huge advantage towards their existing stadium or state. And so that was the idea when we said, let's connect gaming with fitness via Superplay.
That's incredible. And how if you get in with all these five companies, how many people could this potentially go out to? 500
million. We have really 500 million customers using one of the companies I mentioned. Yeah. So we have already signed contract with Precor as the number 3. And we have also signed contract with Diaco, it's the number 5. It's very strong in Asia. But we are in current negotiations with all the 3 others. So by end of the next year, we will definitely reach out to 500 million people.
Okay, so Tilmman, tell me if I'm right. You're in Germany right now?
Right now I'm in Poland, actually, because my wife is Polish. Okay. I love Poland.
So you're in Poland.
But I'm German, yeah.
Okay, and then we've got Hasham he's in the
London.
UK, in London. How did you possibly meet from different continents? How did you come together and with your partner Fabio?
Let me answer that. So funny thing is that, I mean, we're actually all from Germany, even though, I mean, I'm not the typical German, I am German too. And and Tilmman was living in Heidelberg at that time, which is near Frankfurt. I was living in Frankfurt, and Fabio lived in Wiesbaden, which is also like 20 minutes from Frankfurt. Yeah. And then we just all split. Like I said, I moved to Dubai first for 7 months before I moved to back to London. And Tilmman went to Spain and then to Poland, and Fabio went to Poland, just to Spain.
And is it just been a marriage made in heaven with the 3 of you?
Yes, we could say like this. I mean, at the moment, at the beginning, it was not always heaven. Yeah. As you can imagine, it was more like a marriage. It was more like a marriage. So sometimes it's also hell. Yeah. No, in hell it was never actually. No, we live together, and hard times is also, it's actually better for you also to go through hard times as a team, because then you really learn the other one much better, and I think you grow together, by hard times. That's what happened.
And the great thing about this, and I do want to kind of bring this up because of you do have to have this when you're in a startup or you're doing these type of things, is that your team are very specific in the roles that you play. How important is that?
I would say we have really a very complementary team. So Hasham is completely different from me, and Fabio also. So we are 3 very different characters, which is excellent for the work because nobody is doing what the other one is doing. And we really complement each other. And everybody has his special skills, which are really bringing the company forward. I think that's most important, So I would say Fabio is excellent in leading the technical teams. We have technical teams all over the world to understand. We have one team at the Philippines, which is working for us. We have one in Ukraine. We have one in Spain. We have one in Germany. So we are really acting we are digital nomads, you would say, or we are completely digital. And Fabio is leading these people, very, very excellent. Hasham has great skills in selling. Yeah, really, if you tell him, I want to have an appointment with the Pope, he would get it. Yeah.
I like you already, Hasham.
And I'm the one who's, I'm also a little bit a dreamer. I would say I'm have the visions, and but I'm a good fundraiser, I would say, and motivating the people, but also bringing them down and keeping the team together. Whatever, yeah. So everybody has his role.
At what stage did you realize that you had something special?
I would say from the beginning, yeah, definitely, because it's very difficult to get money on the base of an idea. Yeah, normally the investors say, show me something, and we really didn't have much at the beginning. We had only the concept. I mean, we had the first fitness manufacturer who was interested. It is a German company called Qatar, which actually went bankrupt meanwhile, unfortunately. But they also believed in the idea. But it was not very much to show, yeah. And but the first investors, they realized the potential which was lying in the idea, and even though we were not very far, they still invested in us, and this was really good.
Hisham, I'm going to ask you a question now. How difficult is it to try to go out there and from a business development perspective, and you can add some of this as well, Tilmman, is when you have just got a concept, how difficult is it, and what advice would you give to somebody that was in that situation where they had to sell their concept and their idea before they got the product?
I mean, it is pretty difficult. I mean, of course, companies like, especially the big ones, they have all hundreds of people knocking on their door every day as well, on one hand. Yeah. At the same time, is like, you really have to do a lot of digging to find somehow the right person. Yeah. Who then thinks like, yes, I like this, what this guy just told me. So I literally had to like go through LinkedIn, for example. Yeah. For example, I went to a Precor LinkedIn page, looked at all the employees, which could be interesting, poached, quite a few of them, yeah, and then up to the point, then okay, I was not receiving any responses, and then I literally like, okay, because of the time difference, because they're based in Seattle, West Coast, yeah, I stayed awake till like late midnight or whatever, yeah, and I cold called them literally and asked for them. I said, look, I want to speak to Jeff. I want to speak to this person. Yeah,
he was annoying them.
Yeah. And then I speak to them about it, and then they say, okay, sounds interesting, and I explain them our vision. And then if you have someone on the other line who understands your vision, yeah, then you have him kind of like hooked already, yeah. And then you literally just throw in all everything at once. You just, what, why don't we meet next month? Yeah. So you just like, okay, I'll fly over. Yeah. So I just fly over, with nothing. We just did a presentation, go there, present, talk to them. Yeah, I remember that was exactly with Precor. And 2 months later was the largest fitness exhibition in the world, which happens in Cologne in Germany. Yeah, and obviously Precor is there every year, like everybody else. We didn't have a stand, we didn't have a booth, we didn't even plan to go there. Yeah. Then I said to Tilmman and Fabio, I said, look, let's just put some money together. Let's get a booth. Let's just go there. We need to show these guys something. Yeah, so we took this one, this Qatar bike, which we did the initial prototype with. Yeah, put some banners together in the same hall where they were, which was even more expensive. We got like a small, like a 6 square meter box there. Yeah, and we were there. Yeah, and we were there, and then I literally went to the Precor stand and said, hey, got the right person. Said, oh, good to see you again. Come with me. He said, look, I'm busy. I said, I'll come later. We have just, come next day. We have like a lot of customers, whatever. So I just kept going. And then he said, okay, off time now. Then he came and I said, look, try it. Yeah, try it. And then when he tried it, he was like, okay, sounds good. Yeah. And as soon as he tried it, then he brought his colleague. He tried it. And then it was just like, okay, let's do some kind of an NDA and let's just move forward.
That's great.
Yeah.
I might want to add, Hasham, that I think what was crucial for the success of Hasham's was also that we really had this prototype with Kettler. Yeah, I would say only with the idea we could not have convinced anybody. Yeah, we really did need this prototype, this early prototype where you could see the principle, where you could feel the principle. Yeah, and only it was a little scene, it was a little game, a little part of a game. The people realized what we were doing, and that was the breakthrough.
And sometimes you just have to be at the right time, at the right place as well. I mean,
Yeah.
another thing, I mean, on one hand, we have the fitness equipment manufacturers. At the same time, on the device side, I mean, we have a partnership now with Samsung Mobile. Yeah, pretty big name.
Yeah.
We have not like an agreement, but at least an NDA in detail with Sony PlayStation. Yeah. And again, same thing. I mean, I went to Steam, knocked on their door. Basically, I said, I didn't get nothing. I said, I have a meeting with Precor. I'm in the same area. I'd like to meet you guys. Again, through LinkedIn, 4 or 5 years ago, arranged a meeting with those guys. Then there was a investor conference, Web Summit. It's the largest startup conference in the world, in Lisbon. I had a look, who are the speakers? And there was a senior director from Sony PlayStation there. Yeah. So I literally found him in the investor lounge and spoke to him and sent him something. And a month later, he contacted me and he said, look, I want to meet. And then I even like a year later, it kept on going. And then I arranged a meeting. I said to Sony PlayStation, why don't you come with me to a meeting with Precor? So I flew out to Seattle. He came from San Francisco, and we had a three-way meeting and discussing a three-way partnership here.
It's wonderful to hear, and I'm just so chuffed because I keep on telling people don't underestimate LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably one of the biggest tools in your armory to go out there and to, I won't say hang them, but get to the right person. Get that one, make an introduction, join with them, and then just have that communication going backwards and forwards. But don't mess up. Make sure it counts.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'd like to add here just quickly is I think what's really important is, I mean, yes, you reach out to them by LinkedIn, maybe you get no reaction, they're not going to accept your invite. I mean, I get hundreds of invites now and I don't accept all of them, but sometimes you really have to say, you know what, pick up the phone and call them. You have a name, you have a position there, yeah, and you just call the reception or whatever, you find a phone number.
Or you have to meet them, what Hasham did also. You have to look, where are these people talking, for example, where are their speakers, yeah? And it's the most easiest thing to go to an event, wait behind the stage and just talk to the people.
Oh,
nobody will say no to you.
I love this luck. I bumped into the most random people. I mean, just an example, in 2006, I was for my private equity company in Madrid, and I bumped into Mark Zuckerberg I'm coming down the elevator and he's staying there. I couldn't even remember his name at that time. It was 2006. And I went up to him, aren't you the Facebook guy? Yeah. And he's like, hi, I'm Mark.
It's just brilliant because the stuff that you're just saying here, I'm sorry to cut in there, but the stuff that you're saying is pure gold. It's priceless because, as you said, Tilmman, you've just sometimes got to pick up that phone. Don't be scared of it. Or
you have to play the ball always.
Yeah. And I'm taking from this now. And okay, so have you ever doubted yourselves at any stage? Have you ever thought that this is too big for you to go up?
Of course, I would say so. I mean, yes, somewhere inside you believe, yes, we will do it, and I believe in the vision. Of course, we all do, and we continue. But of course, there were dry spells where we had no money for a year or so. Yeah, and that means like no money means also no salaries.
Yeah, this is also good. Everything in life is good.
Yeah, life is good, and it's that journey that you can look back on that is going to give you the most thrills, right? Those times, and I'm living it with you, Hisham. Kind of going to places, not knowing who you're going to find, but you've got to do something because you've spent whatever money you've had, and it's gone into the hotel room, it's gone into the flights, it's gone into the food. But you believe in yourself. But sometimes you get those doubts, right? And you think you're there, and you think to yourself, "Oh my God, this is scary," and you've just got to push yourself.
Exactly, I agree. You're completely, you keep on going. You keep on going. I mean, we also went. Fabio and I literally went also to Tokyo. And met some investors there. We met Konami and so on. We just like, okay, let's just do it. We even organized a bike from Kettler, from Malaysia. They shipped the bike to Tokyo, you know. And afterward, they asked, like, what should we do? What should we do with the bike? I just keep it.
The first investor we met in London, the institutional investor, we went there on a little van, and we had the bike inside the van and the monitor, and we asked the people to come into the van to get the experience. Yeah.
No way.
It was really great.
It really great. Fantastic stories. Now, tell me, how did you find yourself coming to Qatar Sports Tech? What was it that made you come this direction?
You see, there are two major hotspots, I would say, in the world where really gaming and fitness, the people are really most interested in gaming and in fitness. And one is in Asia, you can say, and the other one is definitely in the GCC region. Yeah. So, and Qatar, I think you can see that they want to make a big shift. Yeah. I mean, obviously they run out of the resources, so they need new technologies. They really see the future. And what I really like very much from the Arabic people is that they're really thinking long term, and they're thinking big. Yeah. So they're not afraid of big visions, and it's quite the opposite. They want you to think really big. They want to be the greatest. I mean, they built up this fantastic country within the last 50 years, which is unbelievable, I think. And if you watch the pictures, like what Qatar looked like 50 years ago, there was nothing. Yeah, there was a desert. And therefore, I think for them, if you come there with a big vision and you say, look, guys, I really want to build up a platform which is as big as Google, because everybody shall play exercise games in the next years via our platform. And we have new worlds for them, virtual worlds. And there are so many third-party developers who can bring up all this fantastic content. I mean, you must imagine, it's not only for cycling machines, it's for every fitness machine. You can connect it with some kind of game, yeah? And this is endless fantasy, what the game developers can come up. You can make films, you can have a Ben-Hur. I don't know if you know Ben-Hur, this a race, yeah, a race where you really fight against each other, not just by your physical input, but also you can use your whip, yeah, to take the other one from the horse or things like that, yeah. And there's so many possibilities, and I think Qatar is really a great scenery for this, and they are the right people with the right attitude, and there's, I would say, the right spirit, yeah. And also, if you see the people, I mean, the population, they're really very keen on new digital devices. They're very open for new technology. In Europe, you see a lot of people who say, oh, virtual reality or digitization, they see it as some enemy, yeah. Whereas in this region, in the GCC region, especially in Qatar, you can really see the people, they love it, yeah. They embrace it, and therefore we think it's the right region.
Sports technology here is going to be huge, without a shadow of a doubt. And what Qatar Sports Tech is doing, not just Qatar Sports Tech, let's open it up to all of them, because you've got BN Sports, you've got the Supreme Committee, you've got QSL, you've just got so many of those, Qatar Financial Center, and they're all pushing, and they're all wanting to see successes. And it's like, I know I've seen some successes myself. It's like findaplayer.com. They were on the first cohort. Sponix Tech. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're just incredible, and they're one of the market leaders. It's what they do right now and the uniqueness that they've got. But these are all groups that's come through there, and it's just gonna, it isn't easy. It's you've just come on to the show and you've said to yourself, no, it's not been easy. The journey isn't been easy, but if you look at what the potential is, it's huge. Now we're saying about Qatar Sports Tech. Where we're going to go on to your app, is that your app now, what stage are you at now? You're looking at taking it to those 500 million people potentially.
Exactly. Yeah, we have prepared the last years, the big companies, and they're really right now behind us, and they're waiting for us for the commercial relaunch of the first game. It's called What Challenge. It's a racing game which you can play sitting on a cycling machine, yeah, in the gym, or with your normal bike with a smart trainer. And this will be the first game coming out in end of November.
Okay, so you're coming out with this one. Did it ever worry you that you were going to come out with up against competition? What? Because I know that there are there's competition in this area.
The competition is actually educating the market. We have one huge competitor. It's called Swift. Many people will know it who are driving racing bikes, professional racing bikes, because they have applications for racing bike drivers. But actually, what they do, we bring it into the gyms, yeah, from the principle, yeah. And the fact that they are so incredibly successful is a good motivation for us to go in this even much bigger market, yeah. I mean, Swift, to understand, has collected $420 million so far. They already earning. They have 750,000 people paying $10–15 a month. So they're also in the 3-digit million revenue area, and they're only doing this racing bikes. Our market is 10 times as big as them. So imagine when we really go into the market now, enter the market, and we will reach out to all these people, we will really make billions in the company, definitely.
Unbelievable. Did you believe that it would ever get this big? The potential?
Sorry to say yes. I would even say, I don't want to be completely insane, but we see a huge potential. We see it like a platform, really like an app store or like Steam, because we believe in the fantasy of the people. And I definitely believe, I think there are so many really excellent developers, game developers. And what you have to understand today, to develop a game, you don't need 100 millions like maybe 20 years ago. If you have if you are 5 or 10 people, you have a small team, you can really develop an excellent game. Yeah. And if you develop this game now for the fitness machines, which we are connecting through our platform, then you have an open field. It's like a blue ocean. It's a green field, and you can make so many fantasy games there, which the people will love. That I really believe our platform has a huge potential. Yeah.
It's just, how do you keep your feet on the floor? How do you keep grounded?
Meditating. I'm meditating 3 hours a day. Yeah, that's very important because, yeah, I believe very much in God also. And so I know it's everything which is happening in life is because of Him. And that's for me most important. So I'm meditating normally at 4 o'clock in the morning till 7. Sometimes I get up at 3 o'clock. And I do a lot of sport also, of course. Yeah. I'm walking barefoot. So I'm getting grounded, also in the winter time, and
No.
I'm jumping in the ice cold lake every day, minimum 1 time. That's my remedy.
Hisham, I don't know where you're doing that in the UK. Hisham, are you doing the same in the UK?
I don't do those things. Someone sends us sometimes pictures and videos like jumping into like a cold. His nickname now is Rambo.
You are definitely. I'm gonna whenever you come to Qatar, Tilmman, I'm calling you Rambo. You are Rambo to me.
I love the heat. Actually, I have been in Qatar, and I also love the desert. I love the heat, but I also love the coldness. Yeah, it's just the extreme. I like extreme temperatures. Yeah.
No, with me, I mean, I'm a very grateful person. I'm also believe very strongly in God. I trust in God, and I always say everything happens for a reason. And I have this very, very relentless, optimistic mindset. Doesn't matter how bad the situation is, I always think it's going to work out. And quite a few times in my life, I've been all the way to the edge, hanging down, and then I know I'm just about to like fall, and then I describe it the way that God just grabs my arm and just pulls me back up.
Hisham, great point. Absolutely great point. Because I think with me being 54, there's been many of those times that something like that has happened to me. But you can always guarantee, I won't say always guarantee because there's some terrible stories out there, but He's always helped me. And I think if you go out there trying to help others and you do really make your life all about others, because I'm sure I know that your team must be feeling that because of what you've gone through already. But you'll normally find that those people want to help you because they know what you're going to do for others.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, also like regardless of our financial situations here and there, I do participate in charities or whatever. I mean, I have relatives who live in Asia, and they are not sometimes doing well, or they're ill or something. And then my mom asked me, "Hey, your auntie needs some money for medicine," and I don't think twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Here we go. Yeah.
I think the most important bit is that with Superplay we can really do something useful and something good. Yeah, because we are convinced, especially for children, for example, it's they're getting motivated. And if you look to the GCC region, you have a huge problem in obesity. Yeah. The people they don't move around a lot. Yeah, they're growing fat, and Superplay can be really a very good remedy for them. They can stick on their mobile phone like they do it at the moment for 10 hours a day, but at the same time they're doing exercise. Yeah, and I think that's
I think
really
an important sentence, I think, which we haven't mentioned yet, is like, with your mind, with our product and our concept, with your mind, you're so much focused on playing a game, having fun, that you don't realize you're actually exercising at the same time.
Yeah. You forget
That's a really good point. And do you know why I like what you do is because I kind of because of this pandemic and everything else, whatever the situation is, esports is becoming huge. Okay, and it's worrying sometimes. And it's I'm 54. I keep on saying this. I worry sometimes that we're all then going to be going just in front of the computer or in front of the gamer. And this actually does something where you bring esports, and because you class yourself as esports, right? Where you're going to bring that and the exercise side of things, and you're going to have the best of both worlds. This is what the world needed, instead of everything going straight over to the esports where there could be issues.
Steve, we are going beyond esport in this sense. Definitely, we're bringing the good things of esport together with the good things of sport, and our vision is really to establish Superplay championships all over the world. So in 10 years we see nationwide championships and even a world championship, like which is done now in Qatar. Yeah, in 2 years we will have it for Superplay. I'm convinced. Yeah, that people all over the world, because you have more than 1 billion people exercising in gyms, and it becoming more and more. Yeah, it will become 2 or 3 billion people, and we can reach out to all of them via Superplay and with the games.
You're quite established. You're very further down the road than a lot of the cohorts that's on this Qatar Sports Tech. What is it that you're looking from it with, and what have you experienced with this cohort now, this session, and what do you hope to gain from it?
Now, I would say, if you say we are further ahead, I would say we are further ahead with our minds. Not always with what we are really doing. We still have to do the commercial launch, yeah, of the games and of the platform. So we really know how to do it, and we are in preparation, and we have put everything in the right place. But we still have to go this way, of course. So what's really helpful for us is also to exchange ourselves with other founders, with other cohort members, and see what they have for business models. How do they get into the market? So I would say the exchange with other companies, and also with the mentors, of course, which are really very well experienced. This is very helpful, especially because, you know, the devil is in the detail. Yeah. So if you're thinking of rolling out the product, for example, now for us it's very important to get the right targeting. Yeah, because we don't have millions in the background, so we really have to focus on our first customers now. I mean, we have already 1,500 customers gained in the last 2 weeks, yeah, in the beta version. But now with the commercial launch, we want to get the first 100,000. And for them, it's very important, of course, to do the right marketing and get the right strategy. And this is what we actually learn at the moment in the Qatar Sports Tech, in the acceleration program. We have really good backside and advice from experienced entrepreneurs, and this is helping us a lot.
So let me kind of, and I know that this is, you're going to be projecting this, but I do believe you. I've just spoke with you for over an hour beforehand as well, and I love what you're doing. Give me a projection of the next 2 years from your side. I know that's a little bit unfair, but you're
no, it's not at all. We love it. It's very easy. We are coming out now with Superplay, and we are coming out with
the first game.
On the Ant Plus means we're connecting the bike for all smart trainers and for all fitness devices which are connected with Ant Plus interface. And in half a year, we will have Precore ready. Precore is the 3rd largest fitness manufacturer in the world. We are already in the phase where we are testing the games, and Precore will already reach out to 25 million people. And up to the end of the year, we will have connected all the big 5 manufacturers. So we will reach out to 500 million people. On parallel, and that's very important, we are getting more and more content on the platform. And we are already talking to really big studios who have already existing video games, which are very famous. We have one company, cannot say the name. They have a game outside which is being downloaded by more than 1 billion people. And we are talking with them about building an extension to their game so that the people can actually play and control the game with fitness devices. So we're coming from two ends. Yeah, from the one end, we're using all the existing devices and the users of the fitness machinery of the manufacturers. From the other side, we will talk to the big companies which have already produced really good content to bring this content actually on Superplay. And our vision, I would say, for the next 2 years is that at the end of the 2 years, we will minimum have 5 million users playing our games on Superplay.
That's just unbelievable. That's brilliant. Now our time is gone very, very fast. I don't know if you realize how fast it's gone. But I've got 2 more things. I've got a few things that I want to ask you now from both of your positions. Okay. Is it, you're giving advice now to you're the mentors, for example. Okay. You're giving advice to a brand new tech startup. What would be the 2 points that you would say to them to make sure that they cover? And I'll come to you first, Hasham.
Okay. Believe in yourself. General advice, right? You're talking about general.
Yeah, general, whatever advice you want to give.
Okay, so basically, believe in yourself and in your product. A lot of people will come to you, even friends and family, who will say, "Oh, why are you wasting your time on this?" Yeah. But if you really believe in your idea of product, keep on going. Yeah, don't listen to. I mean, it should be like going in from one ear and it should be going out from the other. Yeah. So that's the main thing. Just like don't give up, keep on going. Yeah. And the second advice would be, I think it's very important is to have the right team, at least one team partner. Yeah, a lot of people start off alone as well and are scared to bring in a person or whatever. Don't want to share their percentages and whatever. Yeah, but I think having at least 2 people in the team who complement each other is very, very important. If you think you can do it alone, I don't agree with it to 100%. I mean, you can maybe do a large part of it, but you can't do alone, all of it.
Brilliant points, Hasham. Brilliant points. And yourself, Tilmman?
I would say build on strategic partnerships. That's very important. If you're a small company, a startup, you have to go, you have to partner up with big companies. Maybe not with the biggest in the world, but look out for big companies who can really push you into the market and create win-win situations for them, and then make a piggy ride on the back of the giants. Yeah, that's my advice. And the second one, I would say, which is very difficult actually, and we also were lacking of this, but get your finance done before you actually start. Yeah, which is difficult, but you always have situations where you will run out of money. That's normal for a startup, but you should not start with such a situation. So you first get funded, even if it's not a lot, not for 2 years or so, but get the money on board and then start running.
And so you're saying the preparation, make sure you're prepared.
Yes.
Definitely, and also keep in mind that everything takes much longer. Yeah, so if you're raising 200,000, keep in mind that you will need at least 400, or rather 600,000.
I completely agree with that point. I completely agree. That's one thing, and quite a few founders have told me that that always raise actually more than you think you need.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, this has been an absolute privilege and an honor to be on this podcast with you today. The tips and the advice you've given out is unbelievable. I wish you every success in the future. Tilmman, please allow your wife to get, it's the winter now, please allow her to get back in the car.
They're used to the coldness that way.
Thank you so much I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Steve. Pleasure's on our side. It was great speaking to you, and thank you for allowing us to be part of this.
Thank you so much indeed. It was a joy. Yeah, good on you. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show today. It was a fantastic one. You can see these guys, look at what they're going to be doing for the future and doing for us all. I can't wait to have a go on that bike. I can't wait till it's in my local gym. Thank you so much again for joining us. Everybody, thanks for listening to the show today. See you next time. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you, Steve. Bye.
Everyone, thank you for listening. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favorite podcast app.